Right, so how's it going, and welcome back to another video on this channel now, and a massive win for Chelsea tonight, 3-2 against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park to move us to within 5 points of Manchester United. Of course, they do have a game in hand, and it does move us up to third, 2 points above Leicester, who play against Arsenal as I speak right now. And to be fair, it's actually quite hard to identify who the better side was. Chelsea for spells did control the game, likewise with Crystal Palace, but for most of the game it was kind of split in terms of possession, chances created, etc. Like, I would say till Zaha's wonder goal, Chelsea controlled the game, obviously 2-0 up, and then Zaha scores and Crystal Palace take control until really the 70th minute or something when Chelsea scored the third goal. And then from that time onwards, there wasn't really any chances created until that last one. They hit the post in the 95th minute, which nearly gave me anxiety. And yeah, of course, Olivier Giroud putting us ahead with that early goal, getting on the end of Willian's low cross. And yeah, there was a debate, you know, whether it was unsportsmanlike or unfair that Gary Cahill went down and Willian just played on. But in fairness, at first, I didn't celebrate the goal originally because I did feel like it was a bit unfair, but in second thought, in hindsight, there's nothing really wrong with it, because let's be honest, if that had happened to Reece James or anyone, Wilfried Zaha or Christian Benteke would have played on in the same thing. So personally, I don't see much wrong with that, other than the fact that it's obviously Gary Cahill, who's highly respected at Chelsea. That's probably the only reason why people are making such a big deal out of it. But anyway, we went 1-0 up through that, and then the second goal goes in. Christian Pulisic, once again, an absolutely unbelievable talent he is. I mean, he's only 21 years of age, and he is already showing glimpses of what Eden Hazard is. I know I've said it so many times on this channel, but he does remind every Chelsea fan of Eden Hazard when he was here. And yeah, he scores a beautiful near post shot, which puts us 2-0 ahead, and by that stage I was thinking probably going to be a 4 or 5-0 drubbing of Crystal Palace. But then about 15-20 minutes later, Wilfried Zaha just puts one right out of the top drawer. I'm like, how in the name of God has that happened? I know there has been a bit of debate over whether Kepa should have done better or not, and I haven't really seen much replays of it, but at first glance I thought that Kepa probably should have at least got a hand to it. But to be honest, I don't blame any keeper for not saving that, because let's be honest, if that was the likes of Alisson or Ederson or someone like that and that goal had gone in, there'd be absolutely no question marks regarding the goalkeeper. I think it's only because it's Kepa and he's having a poor season that there's been so many question marks over whether, you know, he should have saved it or not. And then to be fair to Crystal Palace, they were playing some good football in the third quarter, and to be fair, they kind of controlled the game. They had the better chances, they were kind of dominating us in the midfield area, and then Tammy Abraham goes and scores. The two substitutes combining, Ruben Loftus-Cheek doing that darting run that he loves to do, and playing a very, very nice ball through to Tammy Abraham, who shows unbelievable composure to just wait and bury it in the bottom left corner off the post. And at that stage I was thinking, right, we finally have the game done and dusted, we should get a fourth to finish up this game. But no, because 80 seconds later they go up the other end. Andreas Christensen is caught flat-footed by Zaha, and yeah, Benteke gets a tap in. His first goal in God knows how long, isn't it? Just typically scored it against us. And yeah, then we brought on Jorginho, who I thought, you're not going to see many better 10-minute cameos than what Jorginho did. I mean, he completely controlled the game at his fingertips when he came on, because when Crystal Palace scored that goal, like Benteke's goal, they looked like they were going to get an equaliser, because they were all over us in the midfield area and going forward. Our defence was was just all over the place. And then Jorginho comes on, he controlled the game, much like he did against Arsenal at the Emirates. And that's why I feel like we should not sell Jorginho, because he does have that ability to come on off the bench and just control a game. And then of course the last chance of the game in like the 95th minute or something, I thought we'd bottle it. Scott Dan getting the header. Kepa made an unbelievable save. That's why I think he redeemed himself, for if there was any judgment on the goal that he conceded from Zaha, he definitely redeemed himself with that save from Scott Dan, because that was definitely going in. It hits the post, comes back out, and Chelsea get 3 points somehow. But yeah, now I'm going to do the usual, you know, name out the standout performers. But before I do that, I just want to give a special mention to Ross Barkley, because he's a player that I've heavily criticised, not even over the last few weeks, but over the last year or so, because he has been very, very poor for us. But in the last few weeks, he's really seemed to rejuvenate himself in the Chelsea shirt. And I know, obviously, he does go through these purple patches, as Chelsea fans know, but I thought today he was very, very good. He controlled the game, he was brilliant at passing, he drove forward well, he didn't get dispossessed as many times as he does normally. So yeah, hats off to Ross Barkley, he actually played very, very well today. I thought Mason Mount was very good as well, you know, his bustling self, just closing down players. He must be so frustrating to play against, because he's constantly in your face the whole time. His pressing ability and his engine is just phenomenal. I thought Billy Gilmour linked up to play very, very well in the first half, kind of died down a bit in the second half when Crystal Palace controlled the game, but you know, you can't really expect much from a 19-year-old who's literally just making his second Premier League start. I think the defence at times today did show signs of worry. Obviously the two goals, the first goal really not much you could do, but the second goal was just absolutely pathetic defending. Christensen had a very shaky game, not one of his better games in the Chelsea shirt, and to be fair, he hasn't played badly in a while, so he is entitled to a bad game every now and then. But yeah, overall a quite confusing performance, because I thought when it was 20 minutes in, I thought I was going to be sitting here in this video saying every single player on the pitch put in a shift, they did brilliantly well, but although they did put in a shift, it wasn't really as convincing as we originally thought when we were 2-0 up. And that's okay, you know, you're not always going to win games by 4 or 5 goals to nil, as we've clearly seen. But yeah, we did manage to get the job done, and I'm sure Frank Lampard would be absolutely delighted with the fact that the players literally just scraped through this game. And yeah, now we move on to Sheffield United away on Saturday, I want to say it is. But yeah, that is an absolutely must-win game, much like today. Because if we win that game, I feel like we're nearly there, depending on obviously Manchester United's results, Leicester's results, Wolves' results. But if we can win against Sheffield United on Wednesday, and say United and Leicester and Wolves all win their games, we will be 1 point behind Leicester, I think, if Leicester win against Arsenal here, and we will be 2 points ahead of United. But yeah, we're nearly there. Another vital win, 2 wins in the bounce now. We've actually scored, I think, 12 goals in the 5 games we've come back. So that's pretty impressive. It's just the fact that our defence is still a bit leaky is the only problem. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave this video. So if you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like down below. This has been a very fun video to record just because the match was just incredible overall. And yeah, please do subscribe if you are new, because we're 18 subscribers off 100. It would be absolutely amazing to hit that as soon as possible. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.